What up, guys? ShadyCash here, bringing you another commentary. Got some Domination on Discovery for you. I'm using the L96 with extended mags. I have dual ASPs on for my secondary. Can't really remember what perks I was using. I captured this match over it's probably been about a week and a half now. I was a 14th prestige at the time, and I'm actually finished leveling off now. I'm a 15th prestige, hit my 50. Got all my perk pros unlocked except for blackjack, and I'm just having a bitch of a time with those grenade tossbacks. I think I've got like 1 out of 5 and still just sitting there on it. If anybody's got any advice on a real easy way to do it, you know, besides like boosting in free-for-all or something, I would really appreciate it. I guess I haven't unlocked every single perk because I've never even bought Second Chance. I pretty much just ignore that perk. I don't even use that starting M16 class just because it comes with Second Chance on for the 3rd tier perk. Honestly, I think that putting Pro at the end of Second Chance is just a complete contradiction, but that's a whole nother story. I'd like to talk to you guys for a minute about used games and online passes from EA. Seems like a lot of publishers lately have been, I don't know, I guess you could say taking up arms against the used game market. And these $10 passes are basically just EA's way of, you know, combating said used game market. First off, when you buy something, be it a movie, car, CD, house, whatever it is, you as a consumer have a fundamental right to resell that item. Trying to change that basically goes against our whole society. The idea that if I don't buy a game new, I'm not a customer of that said company is extremely foolish. I mean, if I go buy a car from GM and I get a used car, they don't get mad at me and be like, oh, you know, you're not a customer of ours, you bought your car used, you know, or, you know, like if I had bought that car used, that doesn't necessarily mean I would have bought it new ever, you know what I mean? And the only reason I say that is because there was a CEO quoted. It's been about a year, and he's changed his tune since then. But, I mean, I don't know how much, you know, that's just like his public persona, I guess you could say. But I just think taking that stance is extremely foolish, and let me explain why. When I first purchased my first real COD experience, which was World at War, I did so used, and I did so months after it was released. I'd played COD 2 and the first Modern Warfare, and somehow I just never really got into them. I never played COD 2 online, so, you know, I mean, one-player games, you play them and go through them and move on. And then until recently, I had only probably played a total of maybe like 20 games of Modern Warfare online. My buddy kept talking about how I needed to get it, and I grabbed it. By the time I got it, you know, that game had been out for like a year, and I just got stomped. You know, and it was no fun. I went back to Unreal 3 because in that game I would do the stomping. But, you know, I got World at War because all my friends were playing a lot of Nazi zombies. And when I got home, I downloaded $30 worth of DLC for it. My girlfriend wanted to play it, so I ended up buying another used copy like a couple days later and spent $30 more on DLC so I could play Nazi zombies online. You know, because World at War, you could play split-screen Nazi zombies, but you couldn't do so online. So if we were playing split-screen, it'd be just us two, you know, we wanted to play with my friends, too. You know, because I had it, when they'd go, you know, they'd be done playing Nazi zombies, they'd go play online, I'd play online with them, and, you know, I'd still sucked pretty hard at it, and decided that, you know, when I saw Modern Warfare 2 was coming out, I was watching, I thought it just looked amazing. Watching the previews, it looked real fast-paced, which is totally up my alley. So, you know, I bought that game brand new when it came out, bought the Hardened Edition, and ended up getting the regular version down the road. Bought both of them new, paid for both the map packs. Bought Black Ops new and paid $150 to have an RC car that I'll probably never even remove from the box it came in. Bought First Strike, and I'm sure I'll buy the new DLC the day it comes out as well. But it all goes back to that first used purchase. If I'd never gotten into World at War like that, I would have never bought those other games because I had already had my COD experience in my eyes and it just walked away underwhelmed. And since I was able to pick it up, for $30 though, to me it was totally worth the purchase and ended up, getting me into that franchise. That and then another one, I have some damn good memories of Left 4 Dead. I don't know if any of you guys ever got into that game, but I love Left 4 Dead. I probably could have bought it new, but I found it used the day after it came out for $15 less, so what are you going to do, And if I've ever felt bad about buying a used game, it's an original game like that I think really deserves a sequel, and the only way it's going to get a sequel is if it sells enough copies. Games like that I actually feel pretty good about buying new. Plus, Valve is just all around a fucking awesome company. They're one of the coolest in the business, but regardless, I bought it used. My friend Chad, Captain Chao online, he's like in the clan or whatever, he was in town from Seattle, and I just happened to grab it, and he came over, and we were playing it, me and him and his brother Matt, who's Chrono Monkey online, and just had a blast playing it. And when he ended up going back to Seattle, he bought it new pretty much right when he got back, and Chrono got it, and we were all playing together online. And it just kind of snowballed from there. Mandalore got it, Harvester got it, Raven got it. A lot of the people we play with online ended up going out and getting it, and a lot of us bought it new. Most of us got the DLC for it when it came out, and that's another purchase that, all those purchases, they go back to that first used purchase. I'm sure some of us, maybe all of us, who knows, we would have got Left 4 Dead regardless, but there's also a chance that Chad would have come back from Seattle that day. I wouldn't have had Left 4 Dead. We would have never played it. He would have never got it. Those other dudes wouldn't have never seen us playing it online, and none of us would have got it. And then, when Left 4 Dead 2 came out, we already had it pre-ordered, because, we knew we would love it. And, it was an awesome game. It's too bad that came out right at the same time as Modern Warfare 2, because I really didn't play it as much as I wish I would have. I still see it sitting on my shelf and be like, man, I really should play some Left 4 Dead. And I'm like, well, somehow Call of Duty wound up in my tray, but whatever. Another point I'd like to make also is that, okay, like Bulletstorm, I bought new, I think the day after it came out. Was so sure I was going to love that game. Got it home, played the campaign, it was alright, pretty short. The skill kills, they're cool, but they're a novelty. They wore off pretty quick, for me at least. And the online mode I just thought was lacking. I expect more from a game, especially one from Cliff. And, this is the first game his company, People Can Fly, has come out with, I just expected more in the online department than kind of a Gears Horde mode or like COD Nazi Zombie kind of, I don't want to say rip-off, but it's, it's pretty much the same thing, or like Firefight or something like that. Those are all online bonus modes in those games, you know what I mean? Like, I just expected more from Bulletstorm, but anyway, I just had it sitting on my shelf for like a week, and ended up going and trading it in for another EA published game, wouldn't you know it, Crysis 2. And if I had not had the option to resell Bulletstorm, I probably would have never bought it, because I would be more careful with my purchases, since I know that if I don't like it, later down the road at some point I can sell it and get, fair to decent money out of it. It makes when you buy a game that you're disappointed in like that not sting so much, And then on the other hand, I wouldn't have, if I hadn't had the option to resell Bulletstorm, I wouldn't have had that credit, and I wouldn't have had enough money to buy Crysis 2. So these publishers, they really need to take a look at the whole picture and see that used games definitely, I don't think, hurt them at all. And if you were wondering what the CEO's name was that I was quoting earlier that said that people that buy used games aren't customers of theirs, it was Bobby Kotick from, the Activision Blizzard CEO, who Like I said, he's changed his tune, it seems like. Recently, it was quoted as saying, "What we have tried to do is really support our audience, and when you talk to players, they like the idea of having a currency. They like the idea of being able to take a game that they no longer want to play and use it to get a credit to buy a new game." He goes on to say, "We're not doing anything to suppress used games today." I'd just like to say maybe I was wrong about you, Bobby. That was one of the first things I've ever heard you say that sounds like you actually care about us gamers. Of course, the point could be made that Activision charges more than the average for post-release DLC, probably ends up charging their customers more in the difference than EA's Project $10 does, making a hefty profit, but what are you going to do? Thanks for watching the commentary, guys. I really appreciate it. If you liked it, leave it a thumbs up. If not, leave it a thumbs down. Let me know. Thanks again. Have a good day.